Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we're going to be doing the 9th part of What If Deku had a stat leveling quirk. We are certainly coming near the end of this What If. The next part will be the last part of this What If for a long while. After part 10, I'm going to be starting What If Naruto was a Fox Age Remastered. I hope and believe you guys will enjoy what I have in store for you with What If Naruto was a Fox Age Remastered. I haven't changed many of the original features that I kept in What If Naruto was a Fox Age the first time that I did it, but I managed to remove many of the major plot holes. And I've really had so much fun scripting it. There's something much else I want to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Deku still ends up going to the UA dorms, and all the things with that go the same. Deku then realizes that he hasn't checked his stats in a while. He's just been overwhelmed by the things in his life, so he takes a quick check. He is surprised by these stats. If he places all of his stat points into strength, it will bring his base stat to the level of what he used to get with Thor's Rage alone. However, his strength can be easily enhanced through training, so he keeps the stat points. He puts these stat points into speed and stamina to bring his speed to 33 and stamina to 31. Quest complete, Brute version 2 plus 75 XP. Quest complete, Speedster version 2 plus 75 XP. Quest complete, Runner version 2 plus 100 XP. Quest complete, Brick Wall plus 100 XP. He gets his XP to 370 and there is 10 days left of summer vacation. He makes some alterations to his suit as in canon. He keeps it lightweight to add to his speed, but he adds some new mechanical parts to it. He has a holster to hold Bakugo's explosive capsules. He also adds plated knuckles. It's basically like padded gloves encased with a metal exterior. It adds to his physical damage output, and if he hits bone, he can probably crack or break it with a single strike. He also learns to control electricity into the handle of Mjolnir better. Finally, he trains his current control, and he can now control all of his electricity into one strike. However, his ultimate attack is going to be called Asgard Strike. He definitely doesn't have the power to do this, but when he does, it might even be a rival to High Suppression of Detroit Smash. You've seen Bakugo use 10%, but this attack has to be stronger than that. Basically, the attack is the complete control of the electricity released from Thor's Rage. It will basically be the enhancement across his entire body, controlled into one part of his body for a devastating strike. It's something he can't wait to perform. He changes his suit to a cooler blue, but it still has a slight shift of green. To add some scaling for Deku, all of his stats are supernatural now, or superhuman. I'd say his base top speed is around 37 to 39 miles per hour. His deadlift is probably around 700 kilograms, and he can run for several miles with little effort. His physical stats are top tier, and his fighting ability is amazing as well. He might not have had all of the time in the world to train, but he's one of the smartest and hardest trainers out there. He analyzes every move he makes and finds every minor issue with his skills. If most people got in the ring and beat it out with Deku, Deku would win pretty much every single time with little difficulty. Bakugo is also training hard, and his ultimate attack is the AP shot. In this What If, such attack is far more destructive, and since Bakugo has one for all, he has a second ultimate attack. It's not as powerful and it breaks his arm if he uses it, but the explosive 10% Destroy Smash is a great option for him. He covers his fist in his own palm sweat and uses the 10% Destroy Smash, detonating the explosions on impact. It just adds to the power of the punch and would kill a normal human. Now the Provisional Hero License exam comes along and Deku prepares himself. After he reached level 10, he was given 8 extra slots for his inventory. Each of Bakugo's capsules will take up 1 slot, so he actually puts 5 in there. He places Mjolnir in there and it takes up 4 slots. With the 9 extra slots, he actually puts several batteries with broken wire endings. He has been able to absorb electricity, and he believes that if he gets tired, he might be able to absorb electricity and use current control to provide him with stamina recovery. Everything goes very similar until the actual point where the students are clustered together in the exam. Deku is more popular from his impressive performance in the school, and so is Bakugo. His cool persona and hero name gives him even more popularity. He also has a great quirk, and with One For All, he's insane. After Bakugo got One For All, the rankings to the class of 1A is clear. Everyone else is quite close together except for Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki and Tenya. Tenya is barely 4th and Todoroki is a solid 3rd. 1st and 2nd is disputable between people, but Deku would take the victory home in a bout. However, attack potency or destructive capacity easily goes to Bakugo. His explosive Detroit Smashes and AP shots can literally scorch and partially vaporize human body parts if they get close enough. Once the wall surrounding the students fall, Bakugo and Deku stay close to each other. Deku Thorson, show me your overrated power, a random student says from behind Deku. He quickly swerves around, but Bakugo is already there to face him. A wave of balls approach him and Bakugo saves both of them with a large blast of explosions. Sudden quest, prelims. Defeat 2 enemies and get through the prelims into the actual exam. exam. Quest rewards 25 XP per target hit/assist, 300 XP. Deku then grabs one of Bakugo's capsules and hurls it into the smoke. Basically, the capsule is filled with Bakugo's palm sweat, but Bakugo can't detonate it on command. Deku simply mixed explosive and flammable compounds, including his destructive sweat, to allow for a strong explosion. Bakugo's explosive sweat is the main component and really gives the power to the capsules. Deku turns and sees Todoroki, followed by the rest of 1A. It just makes him smile at his friends coming to help one another. Shikui in the distance hardens the balls, and another student, Itajiro, sends him on the ground. Deku is actually unable to predict any attack and feels very vulnerable. He places his arms up instinctively in a tight boxing stance, but Kyoka uses her heartbeat distortion. Deku flips right over a wave of balls and Bakugo and Todoroki clear out an area of flying balls with explosions and fire. The other students are astonished by the sight and Bakugo just laughs, excited by the fighting. Deku turns back to the enemy students and Yo uses a move, Tremoring Earth. This puts everyone apart, but Deku lets off one of Bakugo's explosive capsules. This brings a few people to his location, including Bakugo. However, Kami comes out of nowhere and almost hits him with a ball. However, he hits into one of her armed targets and doesn't hold back with a powerful front kick to her stomach. She flies meters away and Bakugo arrives. Deku retrieves his Mjolnir hammer and straps a strap on his wrist tight. He tightens his grip on the hammer and they both prepare for anything coming for them. They then see a group of people approaching them and in seconds a bunch of balls are coming for them. Deku strikes one away with his hammer and kicks one right out of Bakugo's direction. Bakugo then dodges and runs back with Deku. They are completely invested in dodging these attacks and can't even communicate with each other. As a ball speedily approaches Deku, he picks up a 30kg boulder with one arm and blocks it. He then hurls it at the offensive students, hitting a few balls away in the process. Uraraka is then seen and almost gets hit by a ball. Deku shoves her away but ducks under a ball and just grabs her. Bakugo couldn't care less about her and just follows Deku. They acrobatically escape and reach distant cover. He drops Uraraka and takes a few good deep breaths to get his stamina back. Bakugo sees some people approaching them and then notices abnormal behaviour in Uraraka. She seems very plain and straight-faced. Bakugo shoves Deku out of the way and swipes the ball from her hand. "What are you doing, you extra?" Deku is very confused as to what's going on, but then Kami dissolves into her true form. Bakugo just releases a bunch of explosions and moderately injures her. In one final strike, Deku swings his metal hammer and hits her directly in the jaw. She flies about 3 meters before rolling uncontrollably and escaping the situation. Deku just exhales calmly and then throws up a loose ball. He hits it directly with Mjolnir and it actually hits a student in the distance. Sero then arrives at the scene and Deku says, "Let's go." They all rush together and in complete unison. The most skilled students are obviously Deku and Bakugo. The others use their quirks to smartly get targets, but both Deku and Bakugo use their brawn as well as fighting ability to beat people to a pulp. Just a few strikes and literally knock people out. Deku runs forward with static charge and exceeds speeds of 40 miles per hour. He swings violently and actually snaps someone's jaw out of place, also knocking them out. He sees the injury and just guiltily hits all of their targets before leaving. Deku and Bakugo easily take down 2 people and literally give his friends the win too. He wants to find other people and help, but he knows he's finished the exam and so have his friends. He cares for his close people in there, but needs to pass himself. Deku hits or assists with a total of 24 targets, giving him 360 extra XP on top of his 300 XP reward for completing. Level up, +2 to all physical stats, +1 skill, skill chosen, Mjolnir flight. If the user reaches a high enough RPS while spinning Mjolnir with the strap, the user can take flight, and flight speed depends on the speed of the hammer spinning. That's so useful, Deku thinks to himself. They leave and go to the little room where the past students go to. Deku is just practicing his electrical control and Bakugo is just messing around with stupid enhancements of One For All. He just throws a punch with 1% One For All and the punch is barely stronger. It's certainly stronger, but it just isn't impressive at all. The rescue scenario begins and all students start to do their best. Deku sees some people trapped under rubble and he activates Thor's Rage. In one explosive push, he pushes more than a ton of weight away from the trapped individuals. Once he does, the people are surprised by his amazing physique. You can literally see his veins and abs through his shirt. His shoulders are very broad too. In the distance, he sees an explosion and runs off at amazing speed. His speed stat is now 47 and puts his speed at above even 50 miles per hour. He retrieves Mjolnir and spins it violently. The speed of his revolution is so high that he can feel the wind in his face. He then lets it go and he soars into the air, flying at speeds of about 70 miles per hour. He can't help but laugh while looking down below. This skill is so unbelievably cool. As he dives down from the skies, he tightens his grip on Mjolnir and strikes down violently. He completely destroys the ground below and makes a lot of Gang Orca's goons fall into the ground. He sends one flying with a strong swing and raises to an upright position. His eyes glow blue and he glares into Gang Orca's eyes. "You're bold, boy. Very bold." Gang Orca runs at him and stomps directly at him, destroying the ground below. Deku dodges with a leap backwards and he reveals one of Bakugo's capsules. He throws it up, then swings it directly at his opponent. It lands head on and actually knocks Gang Orca off course. He then runs forward as fast as he can and swiftly flips out of the way of an attack. I won't be able to overpower him, even with my water killer trait, he believes, leading him to play more swift and passive. While Deku takes down one of Gang Orca's goons, a notification pops up. Sudden quest, Orca. Take down Gang Orca and his little goons. Quest rewards, Orca equals 1000 XP, goon equals 30 XP. 1000, he exclaims. He swings his Mjolnir into a firm grip and raises at his opponent. Orca smiles and throws a punch at Deku, but he dodges and swings at his jaw. He actually causes a bit of damage and he swings down at his shoulder. As he does this, he backs away and just takes out several goons in his path. He leaps and strikes them powerfully before spinning around and kicking a goon in the jaw. Plus 30 XP, plus 30 XP, plus 30 XP. He gets about 150 XP and swings at Gang Orca boldly. However, he gets kicked head on and flies back through rock and rubble. He coughs out droplets of blood and wheezes before the exam ends. What a student, Orca says in his head. These stats are looking good, Deku thinks. Still wedged in some rubble, he just stays there for a few more seconds and just slowly gets out using his amazing strength. He easily passes and so does Bakugo. Deku is thankful, but Bakugo certainly isn't. In his eyes, it's what he deserves. Not because of his ego, but because of his amazing performance. In this what if, Bakugo doesn't choose to spar Deku since he already does do so frequently and he just chills on his own. Now let's get to the meeting of the big three. In 1A, there's a clear formation of the big four: Deku's amazing physical ability and fighting ability, Bakugo's immense destructive power and range with his AP shot. Alongside his controlled flight from his explosions, Todoroki's contrasting but complementary fire and ice allows for a very destructive fighting style. Tenya's unbelievable speed and kicking strength allows for bone-snapping kicks and speed acrobatics with his calf engines. This big three is in full knowledge of these four and so is Shota. They all meet and Mirio gets to meet the four students. I've heard of you four: Deku, Thorson, Dynamite, Ingenium, and Shoto. Let's see if all of you can take me on. The four arrive at Gymnasium Gamma in their PE uniform. Mirio then says, "Who's first up?" While raising his arms right out, Deku steps forward a few times and says, "I'll go." Mirio stretches and Deku engulfs an electrical current from static charge. Wow, static charge doesn't even feel tough on me anymore. Let's see how far I can go, Deku realizes. He charges ahead at superhuman speed and swivel slams down with a kick. He cracks the ground below, but Mirio dodges by stepping back. Deku swings in, but his arm goes right through his target. Deku follows with a quick left jab followed by a kick at his left knee. Both attacks are aimed perfectly but don't connect at all. It certainly confuses Deku, but he just gets gut punched. His high durability basically lets him tank the hits. He goes in to punch him again, but Mirio just phases through him and just runs right past him. Once he turns, he sees his friends beginning to fight him. The only people able to handle him are Bakugo, Shoto, and Tenya. Shoto leaps into the air and rains down with a wave of hot fire. He then follows with small shards of ice. As he does this, a mass of steam is released around them. Mirio looks around hastily and is quite impressed by this attack. He doesn't know when to phase himself, so he can't just react to any hits. Bakugo runs in and begins using his 5% Detroit Smash. Once he uses it, his arm literally goes right through Mirio and the steam behind Mirio parts waves for the impact of the punch. Mirio just laughs and says, "The successor, huh?" Bakugo is quite confused to start off, but then he understands the statement. Bakugo launches a massive explosion and just sees Mirio unharmed. Shoto runs in and rises a block of ice in front of their target. Mirio just backflips away and gets a lot of distance, but Deku comes in from behind with a deadly Ironside Fist strike. Mirio actually flies off his feet and rolls away a little, but he gets back up in a short amount of time and just gets back to fighting. The only people still standing are actually the big four. Deku runs up a rock wall and leaps off it. He swivels down and stomps with his leg. Mirio steps past him, but Deku swiftly chips his chin with a hook. Mirio falls back and is surprised by his fighting ability. As Mirio isn't currently phased, he hits him into the stomach with a left 5% one-for-all hook. With the explosive sweat on his fist, he activates it and causes even more damage. Mirio flies into a rock pile and Shoto runs in with a wave of fire. However, Mirio phases and the match ends. Mirio actually puts his clothes fully back on and says, "You guys are definitely strong, but the rest of you are lagging behind. Once you catch up to the big four, you'll all be so much stronger." So that will conclude the 9th part of What If Deku and the stat leveling quirk. I actually really like the idea of stat leveling. The unique thing is that people can be given the same power, but stat leveling is so various that you can change its style in so many ways. A prime example of this is this remastered What If. It is a stat leveling system like the first time I did this What If, but it's vastly different. I could even implement this into Naruto or something like that. I'm not sure this will work with Dragon Ball though. If you guys want to see when new videos of mine are uploaded, then please subscribe and turn on post notifications. If there's anything you think I should improve on for the next What If part, please put it into the comments so I can make this What If as great as possible. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.